there, and welcome to today's video on how to get noticed at work in a good way. I'm Chelsea Conrad, career coach at Proactive Happiness. So I talk to clients all the time who say, this other person got the promotion I wanted. This other person has been getting so much attention because they talk all the time so people know who they are. Well, yeah, that's kind of the way it works. You get opportunities when people recognize your name, when people know who you are, when people notice you. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you 5 things that you can start doing today to help you start getting noticed in the workplace. So let's talk a little bit again about why this matters. Well, it truly does matter because if you want to get advancement, if you want promotions in your career, you really need to have people know who you are. So, if it comes down to it and there's a promotion opportunity and they're looking at you and the person sitting next to you and everybody knows who the person is that's sitting next to you, they're going to get the promotion. That's just the way it works. People are comfortable with that person. They recognize the name. They have seen a little bit about the person. They're a little bit more comfortable with them. And you're an unknown quantity, right? So unless they know who you are, you're probably not going to come out ahead in that situation. All right, so let's get into it. What are the 5 things that you can start doing today? The first thing that you can do that I would really suggest starting with is making sure you are really clear on who you are and what you're trying to get out of your career. Okay, so that when opportunities come up, when you are presented with opportunities to talk to somebody, potentially the CEO, the CFO, who knows, that you are in a position to tell them about yourself, what you bring to the table, what your strengths are, and really what you're trying to get out of your career, what direction you want to go in. Because all of this is being done with the idea in mind that you want to take your career, you want to further your career. Well, if you don't know where you're trying to go, it's kind of pointless. So making sure that you are really clear on your strengths and what your career goals are is number 1. I suggest doing that before you do any of the other steps. Okay, so once you've gotten clear on who you are and what you're looking to get out of your career, kind of developing almost your elevator pitch that you would use in networking situations, the next steps that I would recommend can all be done at the same time. There's no particular order. So one thing that I would highly suggest is volunteering for things. So this can look very different. Organizations have a lot of different opportunities where you can volunteer, and not everybody wants to volunteer. So there's typically a lot of room to get involved in things. When I talk about volunteering, I'm talking about charity groups, right? Like the United Way is really big in a lot of companies. Go get on the United Way committee, see if you can get your foot in the door there. Affinity groups within the company, employee resource groups. There's groups for veterans, there's groups for women, there's groups for all kinds of different things. And you don't necessarily have to fall into that category to join the groups. Women's groups, you don't necessarily have to be female to join. So keep that in mind as well. Company initiatives. If your company is really pushing different initiatives, see how you can get involved. So all of these things provide a great opportunity for you to meet different people and for you to start getting involved. Gradually working your way up to leadership positions, volunteering to take on more responsibility within those efforts is a huge plus. All right, so that's volunteering. The next thing I would like to suggest is attending company-sponsored events. This is a great opportunity for you to meet different people within the company who you don't normally interact with. It gives you common ground with people to come and start building your network. So you're going to run into people at these events who you will probably never see at your company otherwise if you work for a sizable organization. So this is an excellent opportunity to really build your network across the organization. And you never know who you're going to run into at these things because these are the events that a lot of the bigwigs will typically attend. So it's a great opportunity for you to get in front of some of these people and deliver that elevator pitch that we were talking about in step 1. All right, the next thing that I would suggest, so this is number 4, is to make sure you're talking in meetings. And I know right now that as you're listening to this, there's a lot of you who are really cringing when I say this, because it is hard. If you're not accustomed to talking in meetings, this is a challenge. It can be really uncomfortable, but there are some things that you can do ahead of time to really prepare yourself. Set some goals for ways to approach this. For example, I'm gonna say one thing in today's meeting. Before the meeting, make sure you prepare, you know what's going to be talked about, have some insights that you feel comfortable speaking on that you can then plug into the meeting. Another thing that you can do to help yourself feel a little more comfortable is when you go into the meeting, intentionally place yourself closer to the seats where the leaders of the meeting will be sitting. Then it feels a little more intimate. When you start to talk, you're not yelling all the way across the room. You're not, trying to reach somebody all the way on the other side of the table. So this can be a great way to ease that pressure a little bit on yourself. Okay, so the last thing I would like to talk about in our video today about how to get noticed at work is to take on different and new responsibilities. So go to your boss, ask for more responsibilities, ask for different responsibilities. If you continue to work on the same projects, the same special projects even, you're going to be exposed to the same people on a regular basis, which will definitely build those relationships, and that's fantastic. But if your goal is to get noticed and to build your network, you need to be introduced to different people. So get different projects, ask for new and different stuff. You're going to learn more and you're going to build your network by meeting more people. Okay, so those are our suggestions about how to get noticed at work in a good way. I know this is a lot of challenging stuff. It probably seems a little bit overwhelming, but these are things that you can start to gradually incorporate and do as you feel comfortable. Challenge yourself, push yourself a little bit more each day, and it will pay off in the long run. If you need help as you're trying to navigate this process and figure out how to push yourself a little bit more, reach out. We're happy to help. Our website is proactivehappiness.com, and the first conversation is always free.